In 1994, a 38-year-old forward from Cameroon named Roger Milla stepped off the bench at the World Cup and became the oldest man to ever score a goal at the tournament. The record stood for more than 30 years, untouched by anyone through 5 different generations of the sport's greatest strikers. On a Tuesday night in Kansas City, another 38-year-old man did not just break that record, he shattered it twice in the same match and did something nobody his age had ever managed on this stage before. Lionel Messi scored a hat trick against Algeria, his first one ever at a World Cup, despite this being his 6th tournament, more editions than any player in the history of the sport has ever appeared in. Here's the detail almost nobody watching at home caught in real time. That match happened to be the 200th time Messi had ever worn the Argentina shirt. Out of every possible night to reach that milestone, he chose that one to score 3 times, goals number 118, 119, and 120 for his country. By the final whistle, his career World Cup total stood at 16 goals, pulling him level with German legend Miroslav Klose for the single greatest tally in the history of the tournament, a record that had stood untouched since 2006. But the age record is what makes this genuinely strange. Just days earlier in this same tournament, Cristiano Ronaldo had set a new mark as the oldest player to score in a World Cup match. Messi did not just match it, he broke it almost immediately afterward, and then broke a second version of it by scoring twice in the same 90 minutes, something Ronaldo's record never required. 2 of the greatest rivals in the sport's history, separated by nationality, by club, by 20 years of constant comparison, somehow ended up rewriting the same record book within the same week on different continents in front of completely different crowds. Before that night, the betting markets treated Messi as little more than a sentimental footnote in the race for the tournament's top scorer award. His odds sat at 1,900 to 1, respectful of his legacy, doubtful of his legs. By the time he left the pitch, those odds had collapsed to 250 to 1. In the space of 90 minutes, odds makers who price outcomes for a living decided that a 38-year-old man was now more likely than almost anyone else on the planet to finish this World Cup as its leading scorer. Think about what that actually means. Now, the same industry that exists specifically to be unsentimental about athletes, that prices decline and age and fatigue into every single number it publishes, looked at what Messi did on that field and concluded the math no longer applied to him. This is almost certainly the last World Cup of his career. Everyone covering this tournament has said as much for months. And instead of fading quietly into that ending, he used a random Tuesday in Kansas City to remind 2 billion people watching Why the Argument over the greatest player who ever lived still refuses to settle itself. Roger Milla's record lasted 32 years. Messi did not just take it. He made sure nobody would casually approach it again on a night that started as a routine group stage match and ended as a piece of World Cup history that will outlast the tournament itself.